The Day of the Doctor is a special episode of the British science fiction television programme Doctor Who, marking the programme's 50th anniversary. It was written by Steven Moffat, an executive producer alongside Faith Penhale. It was shown on BBC One on the 23rd of November 2013, in both 2D and 3D. The special was broadcast simultaneously in 94 countries, and was shown concurrently in 3D in some cinemas. It achieved the Guinness World Record for the largest ever simulcast of a TV drama and won the Radio Times Audience Award at the 2014 British Academy Television Awards. The 77-minute episode shows the last day of the Time War, in which the War Doctor, John Hurt, chooses to kill both Daleks and his own race of Time Lords to end the destructive conflict. Paralleling this with a present-day choice by paramilitary organisation UNIT to destroy London, rather than allow an alien invasion. Revising the backstory, the Doctor succumbs to Clara Oswald's plea to change his mind, and instead, at the last instant of the Time War, he hides his war-torn home planet in time, rather than destroy it. Unfortunately, the time distortions incurred causes all but his latest incarnation to have no memory of his changed decision. The episode starred Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor and Jenna Coleman as his companion, Clara Oswald. Previous lead actors David Tennant and Billie Piper returned for the episode, Tennant reprising his role as the 10th Doctor, while Piper portrayed a sentient doomsday weapon called the Moment, projected as an image based on her character Rose Tyler. She is invisible and inaudible to everyone but the War Doctor, John Hurt. Other appearances included a very brief glimpse of the then upcoming 12th Doctor, Peter Capaldi, who would succeed Matt Smith at the time of the Doctor, and a guest appearance by 4th Doctor actor Tom Baker in his late 70s. Rounding out the guest cast were Joanna Page as Queen Elizabeth I and Gemma Redgrave as Kate Stewart, the daughter of 1970s central figure Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart. The special also featured the return of the Daleks and the Zygons, shape-shifting aliens who had previously appeared only in Terror of the Zygons, 1975. As the episode celebrates 50 years of the program, it references and alludes to various concepts featured throughout the show's run. It has been described by series producer Marcus Wilson as a love letter to the fans, and by the controller of BBC One, Danny Cohen, as an event drama. Mini-episodes. 2 mini-episodes written by Steven Moffat. The Night of the Doctor, the 14th of November 2013, and The Last Day, the 21st of November 2013, were released shortly prior to The Day of the Doctor, depicting in-series events occurring during the Time War between the Doctor's own race of Time Lords and his nemesis, the Daleks. In The Night of the Doctor, Paul McGann reprised his role as the 8th Doctor from the 1996 television film and subsequent Big Finish audio plays. He is a conscientious objector to the ongoing Time War and intends to rescue a crew member from a crashing spaceship via the TARDIS. Realizing that her rescuer is a Time Lord, she refuses to comply, preferring to die rather than go with him. She and the Doctor die as the ship crashes on Khan. The Doctor is resurrected temporarily by the Sisterhood of Khan, who control a secret elixir of life in the 1976 serial The Brain of Morbius. They persuade the Doctor to take action to end the Time War, offering him a selection of potions to control his regeneration. He reluctantly accepts that with all of reality threatened and the universe on the brink, there is not much need for a Doctor, and chooses a potion designed to initiate his regeneration into a hitherto unknown incarnation of the Doctor as a warrior. described in credits as the War Doctor, and played by John Hurt. The Last Day is filmed from the first-person perspective of a Gallifreyan soldier who has had a camera implanted in his head. The soldiers scan for Daleks at Arcadia, Gallifrey's second city, and believed due to its impregnable defenses to be the safest place on the Time Lord's home planet. During training exercises, a blurred object in the sky is identified shockingly as the first of a fleet of successfully invading Daleks, which kill the soldiers. The fall of Arcadia becomes the central battle of the Time War, around which the Day of the Doctor is centered. Plot: the 11th Doctor and Clara Oswald aid the military organization unit, headed by Kate Stewart, in investigating a mystery at the Undergallery, a secret vault housed at the National Gallery. Three-dimensional paintings, made with Time Lord stasis cubes, appear to have been broken from within. The figures previously in the paintings are now missing. While examining the paintings, a fissure in time opens above them and the Doctor jumps into it. In the midst of the Time War between the Time Lords and the Daleks, the War Doctor, a hitherto unknown incarnation of the Doctor, decides to trigger an ancient weapon called the Moment in order to destroy both sides completely. The Moment is sentient and manifests itself as Rose Tyler. It questions whether mass killing is the best option for ending the Time War and prescribes the Doctor's punishment if he does so. He will survive while the rest of his race dies. The Moment offers to show the Doctor what this will turn him into and opens a fissure linking him to the 10th and 11th Doctors. The three Doctors converge in the year 1562, where the 10th Doctor has been tracking down a Zygon. They discover that the Zygon is disguised as Queen Elizabeth, who captures and imprisons them in the Tower of London. Meanwhile, within UNIT's Black Archive, Clara learns that the Zygons from Elizabethan England have entered the three-dimensional paintings in the Undergallery and have emerged in 2013, taking the forms of UNIT members so that they could utilize UNIT's weapons and technology. While the three Doctors are in their cell, the Moment encourages the War Doctor to ask them the questions he needs answered before he decides whether to destroy Gallifrey. After a tense exchange, the Doctors devise an escape plan. They then encounter the real Queen Elizabeth and learn through her of the Zygon scheme to conquer Earth. Kate Stewart also learns of the Zygon plan and locks herself in the Black Archive with the Zygons, starting a countdown that will detonate a nuclear warhead underneath the archive. The Doctors, unable to land a TARDIS in the Black Archive, instead use the stasis cube technology to enter a painting. They exit the painting in the present and use the archive's mind-wiping equipment to render the UNIT members and Zygons temporarily unaware which of them are which. The countdown is stopped and all present negotiate a perfectly fair peace treaty, as they no longer know which way to skew it. The War Doctor, now convinced that detonating the Moment will save many more lives in the longer term, is returned to his time by the Moment. The other two Doctors follow him in their TARDISes with the intention of helping him so as to share his burden. After Clara reminds them of their choice of the title, Doctor, and what it stands for, the Doctors devise an alternative solution. They plan to use the stasis technology to freeze the entire planet of Gallifrey in a single moment in time, which would be kept in a pocket universe. When Gallifrey disappears, the surrounding Dalek warships would obliterate themselves in the inevitable crossfire and both species will appear to have been wiped out. The Doctors relay their plan to the Time Lords and then surround Gallifrey, which erupts in a bright light. The Doctors and Clara return to the gallery, unsure whether the plan worked. The War Doctor is content to think that he failed in doing the right thing, before realizing that Neither he nor the 10th Doctor will remember what happened and will continue shouldering the guilt. The War Doctor departs in his TARDIS and begins to regenerate. The 10th Doctor departs in his TARDIS after persuading the 11th Doctor to reveal that he is going to the planet Trenzalore. The 11th Doctor, now alone, begins to muse about retiring to become the museum's curator, when he is interrupted by the museum's actual curator. As they talk, the curator reveals that the painting's title, which was thought to be either No More or Gallifrey Falls, is in fact Gallifrey Falls No More. In the closing scene, the Doctor describes a recurring dream in which he and his previous incarnations are looking together upon Gallifrey and states that he is going home. Continuity. As the show's 50th anniversary special, the episode contains multiple references to previous episodes. It opens with the title sequence and theme arrangement used at the series' debut in 1963, echoing the opening of An Unearthly Child, the first episode of the first Doctor Who story. A policeman is shown walking past the sign for I.M. Foreman, the scrap merchant in whose yard the TARDIS was located, and its first few seconds are in monochrome, as had been the case in The Two Doctors. The last time more than one Doctor had featured in an official story. Coal Hill School, which the Doctor's granddaughter Susan Foreman attended when they were on Earth in 1963 in the very first story, also featured in the 1988 serial Remembrance of the Daleks. According to the school sign, the chairman of the school governors is now Ian Chesterton, one of the first Doctor's original 3 companions and a science teacher at the school. And the headmaster is W. Coburn, a reference to Waris Hussein and Anthony Coburn, who respectively directed and wrote An Unearthly Child. Clara rides out of Coal Hill School on the 11th Doctor's anti-gravity motorcycle from the Bells of St. John at 5:16. The time An Unearthly Child originally aired on BBC TV. The first broadcast began 1 minute 20 seconds after its scheduled time of 17:15 GMT on the 23rd of November 1963. When the TARDIS is picked up by Unit, the call sign used by the helicopter to refer to Unit is Greyhound Leader, reflecting that of Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart, whose daughter Kate is now portrayed as having his role as commander of Unit. Lethbridge Stewart was a central character in the Third Doctor's era and also several of his successors, originally appearing in the Second Doctor serial The Web of Fear and making his last appearance in Doctor Who in Seventh Doctor serial Battlefield, which is also referenced. An image of the Brigadier is seen alongside images of various companions of the Doctor. The Unit dating controversy regarding whether the Third Doctor era stories took place in the 1970s and 1980s is alluded to in dialogue by Kate Stewart, when she mentions that events occurred in the 70s or 80s depending on the dating protocol used. The 10th Doctor's era is also heavily revisited. His marriage to Queen Elizabeth I, mentioned in the Shakespeare Code, and the end of time, is finally depicted. The 10th Doctor mentioned the fall of Arcadia in Doomsday, when the 11th Doctor tells Clara that the situation is timey-wimey stuff, and the War Doctor ridicules him for it. The 10th Doctor remarks, "I have no idea where he picks that stuff up." The 10th originally used the phrase ink blink when he leaves after learning of Trenzalore. The 10th Doctor remarks, "I don't want to go." His incarnation's final words from the end of time. The 11th Doctor tells Clara that he always says that after his TARDIS leaves. The moment device was originally mentioned in The End of Time, but had not been explored in depth until now, where it takes the form of Bad Wolf, a seemingly omnipotent being and personalization of the time vortex itself. which manifested in Rose Tyler when she absorbed the time vortex in the first series finale. The parting of the ways. During the negotiations with the Zygons, Kate mentions the Sycorax from The Christmas Invasion. The Black Archive, containing alien artifacts collected by UNIT, has photographs of the Doctor's many companions. Additionally, River Song's High Heels from The Time of Angels, Flesh and Stone. The Mask Canceller from second series finale, Doomsday. A Supreme Dalek head from fourth series finale, The Stolen Earth, Journey's End. A Dalek Tommy gun from Daleks in Manhattan, Evolution of the Daleks. The restraining chair which held both the Master and the Doctor in the End of Time. And a Cyberman head are contained within the archive. The vortex manipulator in the archive was donated to UNIT by Captain Jack Harkness, a companion of the Ninth Doctor who was reunited with the 10th Doctor on multiple occasions. The Black Archive was also seen in the Sarah Jane Adventures episode, Enemy of the Bane. Other references are made to previous multi-Doctor anniversary stories. The Three Doctors and the Five Doctors. The 11th Doctor's dismissal of the 10th Doctor and War Doctor as Sandshoes and Grandad, 2. Mock their respective footwear and age echo the First Doctor's description of his two successors in the Three Doctors as a dandy and a clown. The War Doctor's initial incredulous reaction upon seeing his future selves also reflects this moment. Likewise, a Time Lord says, "I didn't know when I was well off." All 12 of them, which recalls the Brigadier's line from the Three Doctors. 3 of them. I didn't know when I was well off. More of the Brigadier's dialogue from the latter serial is alluded to when Kate asks for an incident report code named Chroma. In the earlier story, upon being transported to another universe, the Brigadier initially believes himself to be near the coastal Norfolk town. A line from the First Doctor from the Five Doctors is also reused near the end as the 10th Doctor tells the 11th, "It's good to know my future is in safe hands," which the First told the Fifth in the earlier story. Appended by, after all, when the War Doctor appears, Clara remarks, "I think there's 3 of them." To which Kate responds, "There's a precedent for that," in reference to the Three Doctors. Lines from past serials reappear in the special. The 11th Doctor resurrects the phrase, reversing the polarity, associated with the Third Doctor, to comical effect, in trying to compensate for the presence of 3 Doctors who utilize different console rooms. The 10th Doctor's TARDIS console briefly changes to the War Doctor's console room, seen again later in the episode, before settling on the 11th's. The 10th Doctor comments upon the 11th Doctor's TARDIS console. "Oh, you've redecorated. I don't like it." A line originally used by the 2nd Doctor speaking to the 3rd in the Three Doctors and later reused by the 2nd and 11th Doctors respectively in the Five Doctors and Closing Time. One of the War Doctor's final lines of dialogue prior to regenerating is, "Wearing a bit thin," echoing some of the First Doctor's final words prior to regenerating at the end of the 10th planet. "This old body of mine is wearing a bit thin." The description of the TARDIS's sound as a wheezing, groaning sound by the moment Rose Tyler is a reference to its description in the Terrance Dicks novels. Cast: The Doctor, Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor, David Tennant as the 10th Doctor. Excluding flashbacks and archive footage, Tennant had not appeared in Doctor Who since his final regular appearance as the Doctor in the concluding scenes of The End of Time, broadcast on the 1st of January 2010. John Hurt as the War Doctor, the Doctor's warrior-like forgotten incarnation. The War Doctor came between the 8th and 9th Doctors, and renounced the title of Doctor. Christopher Eccleston, Paul McGann, Sylvester McCoy, Colin Baker, Peter Davison, Tom Baker, John Pertwee, Patrick Troughton and William Hartnell as the 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd and 1st Doctors respectively. Archive footage of all the actors was used. Collectively credited as the Doctor, John Galore provided some voice work for the 1st Doctor, imitating William Hartnell's voice. He was credited as voice-over artist. Peter Capaldi as the 12th Doctor is seen in a fleeting and uncredited appearance. Eyes and forehead only. He took over the lead role from Smith in the 2013 Christmas special, The Time of the Doctor. Other cast members: Jenna Coleman as companion Clara Oswald. The special was the first time the actress was credited on the show simply as Jenna Coleman, dropping the Louise part of her name seen in previous episodes. Billie Piper as Rose Tyler, whose likeness is used as the interface of the moment, a sentient Gallifreyan weapon of mass destruction. Piper has not portrayed Rose as a series regular since Doomsday, although she reprised her role in various episodes of the 4th series and appeared briefly in The End of Time. Gemma Redgrave as the Brigadier's daughter Kate Stewart, who previously appeared in The Power of Three, having been originated by actress Beverly Cressman in the direct-to-video spin-offs Downtime and Demas Rising. Redgrave also portrays the Zygon impersonating Stewart. Joanna Page as Queen Elizabeth I and her Zygon duplicate. Page is the 3rd actress to portray Elizabeth I on Doctor Who, following Vivian Bennett, The Chase, and Angela Pleasance. The Shakespeare Code. Ingrid Oliver as Osgood and her Zygon duplicate. Throughout the special, Osgood is seen wearing a copy of the 4th Doctor's iconic scarf. Peter de Jersey as Androga, a Time Lord. Ken Bones as the General of Gallifrey. John Joe O'Neill as McGilliop. Aidan Cook and Paul Casey as the Zygons. Nicholas Briggs as the voice of the Daleks and the Zygons. Barnaby Edwards and Nicholas Pegg as Daleks. Tom Baker also makes an uncredited appearance as the Curator, a mysterious character who informs the 11th Doctor of Gallifrey's survival at the end of the episode. His resemblance to the 4th Doctor is alluded to, but left unexplained. Production. Casting. On the 30th of March 2013, a distribution error occurred, and many subscribers to Doctor Who magazine received the issue 5 days before the official release date. The issue of the magazine included the official announcement that David Tennant and Billie Piper, who previously played the 10th Doctor and Rose Tyler in Doctor Who respectively, were lined up to appear in the special, along with actor John Hurt. Moffat did not want to bring Rose the character back because he felt her story was wrapped up and did not feel comfortable adding to Davy's arc. However, he liked the concept of bringing back her bad wolf persona and felt that Piper needed to be in the special as she symbolized the rebirth of Doctor Who. John Hurt did not actually audition for the part, but had been asked by the production team and said yes with remarkable speed. His costume was meant to signify that he was rougher, tougher, and had been around for a while. The audience had missed a lot. Hurt's request to keep his beard adds to this effect. Christopher Eccleston discussed plans for the anniversary episode with Moffat, but eventually declined to return as the 9th Doctor. Sylvester McCoy, who played the 7th Doctor, claimed that none of the surviving actors who portrayed the Doctor prior to Eccleston were contacted regarding the special. Colin Baker confirmed this while being interviewed on Australian television alongside McCoy and Paul McGann. However, McGann went on to say that he could still be in the 50th but at the last moment. Radio Times reported rumours that a Doctor from the classic era, pre-2005, would feature in the special, citing unknown sources. Freema Yemen and John Barrowman, who played 10th Doctor companions Martha Jones and Jack Harkness, respectively. Both stated they would not be in the 50th, but may return to the show at some point. Barrowman stated that he would have liked to be in it, but speculated that the producers wanted to try some different things. Writing. The Day of the Doctor was written by Steven Moffat, current head writer of Doctor Who, and produced by Marcus Wilson, with Nick Curran directing. Moffat was developing ideas for the 50th anniversary episode as early as late 2011, when he stated that the team knew what they wanted to do, and were revving up for the episode in an interview discussing his work on the 2011 film, The Adventures of Tintin, and began writing the script for The Day of the Doctor in late 2012, announcing that, as a security precaution, he had not produced any copies, instead keeping it on his computer, under lock and key, until it was needed. Moffat stated prior to the episode's release, "Most things that have been said about the 50th are not true. Normally I am responsible for the disinformation and the rubbish rumors. I usually put them out myself. But I haven't needed to for this one." On the importance of the episode, Moffat has stated that it will change the narrative of Doctor Who. Moffat stated in an interview with Doctor Who magazine that he initially began the story process with the idea that it would be the 9th Doctor, played by Christopher Eccleston, that would have been the incarnation that ended the Time War, in spite of misgivings in his own mind regarding it. "Yes. But you know, I was always nervous of that one, because it doesn't fit with Rose at all. He is a brand new Doctor and Rose. He's absolutely, definitely new. It couldn't have been his sick who pushed the button in the Time War, 'cause that's a new man." Very explicitly, in that episode, "I also had trouble, I have to be honest, imagining it being Paul McGann's Doctor. Once it became clear that Eccleston would decline to appear, Moffat turned to an alternative concept he had been formulating, featuring a Mayfly Doctor who appears for a single episode, asking, would it be weird in the run of the series to have the 45th Doctor turned up and be played by Johnny Depp or someone? Would that be a cool thing to do? Quote, he also indicated that the classic Doctor he would most like to feature in a new story was William Hartnell's first Doctor, stating, "You'd want him to come and say, 'What in the name of God have I turned into?' That's the confrontation that you most want to see. To celebrate 50 years, going round and round in circles on it. I just thought, what about a Doctor that he never talks about? And what if it is a Doctor who's done something terrible? Who's much deadlier and more serious? Who represents that thing that is the undertow in both David and Matt? You know, there's a terrible old man inside them. Well, here he is, facing the children he becomes, as it were." Quote, Moffat felt that it was important to bring something different to the return of Billie Piper, as she had returned as Rose Tyler in various cameo appearances throughout Series 4. Most prominently in the finale, The Stolen Earth, Journey's End, in which she had a central role, and The End of Time. This led to the development of the moment, which had previously been referenced in The End of Time. Piper agreed with Moffat's sentiments, despite loving the character of Rose. Although Smith and Tennant ended up starring in the episode, neither actor was under contract for the series at the time, and at one point Moffat devised a plotline featuring Coleman as the sole regular cast member in case either declined. Knowing that Matt Smith was planning to leave, Moffat wrote the special specifically with the brief appearance of the 12th Doctor during the sequence of all of the Doctors uniting to save Gallifrey. Prior to casting anyone in the role, Moffat later stated that it was his plan from the start that all the Doctors would fly into save Gallifrey, and he knew there would be a new one at that time. He wrote it before knowing who would be cast. Typically, Doctor Who's anniversary stories are named after the number of returning Doctors, as with the 3 Doctors and the 5 Doctors. Moffat explained his choice of title to SFX magazine, commenting that, "It's very rare in Doctor Who that the story happens to the Doctor. It happens to people around him, and he helps out. He's the hero figure who rides in and saves everybody from the story of the week. He is not the story of the week. In this, he is the story of the week. This is the day of the Doctor. This is his most important day. His most important moment. This is the one he'll remember. Whereas I often think the Doctor wanders back to his TARDIS and forgets all about it." Quote, filming. Because The Day of the Doctor was filmed in 3D, the episode took longer than usual to shoot, and every CGI shot had to be rendered twice. The Day of the Doctor took approximately 5 weeks in 2013 to film. Regular filming began on the 28th of March 2013 and ended on the 4th of May. The first 3 days of shooting, the 28th of March, the 29th of March, and the 1st of April, took place entirely at the show's Rothlock Studios in Porth Tiger, Cardiff Bay. Some of the scenes set in the National Gallery and the 11th Doctor's TARDIS were filmed in the period. Filming for the episode's outdoor scenes began on the 2nd of April 2013. The first outdoor scene was filmed at the Ivy Tower in Tonner, Neath. The outdoor section of the scene involving Clara driving her motorcycle into the TARDIS, as well as the beginning of the sequence in which Unit airlifts the TARDIS via helicopter, was filmed on Gethlig Air Common Road in Bedlinog. The remaining of the latter scene was later filmed on the 6th of April at Mod St Athan, and on the 9th of April in Trafalgar Square, London. On the 17th of April 2013, Matt Smith, Jenna Coleman, Billie Piper and David Tennant filmed scenes in Chepstow, Monmouthshire, Wales, and some scenes were shot in Chepstow Castle. On the 2nd of May 2013, scenes in Cardiff were being filmed for scenes that take place at Totters Lane and Coal Hill School, locations which had previously featured in the first 1963 serial An Unearthly Child, the 1985 serial Attack of the Cybermen, and the 1988 serial Remembrance of the Daleks. Filming for the special was completed on Sunday, the 5th of May 2013. From 4 to 5 May 2013, Paul McGann returned to Doctor Who to record The Night of the Doctor. The final piece of filming for the special took place on the 3rd of October, 5 months after principal photography wrapped, with Peter Capaldi filming his cameo, concurrent with filming his official first appearance for The Time of the Doctor. Miniatures constructed by Mike Tucker and his company, the model unit, were used in filming for the Time War sequences, including a model of a Time Lord Staser cannon and the War Doctor flying his TARDIS into and subsequently destroying several Daleks. The Dalek models used were 18-inch voice interactive toys produced by Character Options. The technique of using Dalek toys as models for filming was a common method of presenting entire armies in the classic series. Marketing. Publicity. The Night of the Doctor, an additional 7-minute special, was released on the 14th of November 2013, and featured the 8th Doctor, Paul McGann's regeneration into the War Doctor, John Hurt. Another 4-minute special, entitled The Last Day, was released on the 20th of November 2013 and saw the start of the fall of Arcadia. On the 4th of November 2013, the BBC released the official synopsis. The Doctors embark on their greatest adventure in this 50th anniversary special. In 2013, something terrible is awakening in London's National Gallery. In 1562, a murderous plot is afoot in Elizabethan England, and somewhere in space an ancient battle reaches its devastating conclusion. All of reality is at stake as the Doctor's own dangerous past comes back to haunt him. Quote, trailers. The first trailer for the special was shown to attendees of San Diego Comic-Con in July 2013. The BBC's decision not to release the trailer online to international fans was met with controversy. On the 26th of July, the BBC responded to criticisms by saying the trailer was intended to be exclusive to Comic-Con attendees and that content for all other audiences would be forthcoming at a later date. On the 28th of September, the BBC revealed that the trailer for the special had been shot and was in post-production. On the 19th of October 2013, a specially made teaser trailer, directed by Matt Losasso, was shown on BBC One, and was then subsequently posted online. It contained icons from the history of the show and had a monologue by Matt Smith, as well as body doubles and CGI to create shots of previous Doctors. A clip from The Day of the Doctor was shown at the BBC's Children in Need show on Friday, 15 November. The official trailer for the episode aired in the United Kingdom at 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on the 9th of November. Due to the leak of a trailer earlier on the 9th of November on BBC Latin America's Facebook page, the BBC officially released it ahead of schedule. A second official trailer was shortly released later. Furthermore, before the release of the main trailers, a short clip previewed the 11th Doctor and Clara examining a seemingly impossible painting. On the 10th of November 2013, a short clip of the 11th Doctor announcing, "The clock is ticking," interrupted a BBC One ident. This was followed on Monday the 11th of November by another ident interruption, with the 11th Doctor stating, "It's all been leading to this." Quote, viral marketing. On the 28th of September, the BBC unveiled a Twitter hashtag #SaveTheDay, and an ident that was used to promote the special, respectively. The hashtag and the ident were shown before and after the premiere of Atlantis on BBC One. The hashtag was used to reveal all subsequent promotional material. On the 7th of November 2013, a video starring Smith in character as the Doctor was released promoting the hashtag, promising exclusive content. A website was launched to reveal the content, broadcast and reception. The BBC broadcast the episode in 94 countries simultaneously. To avoid plot leaks, it earned a Guinness World Record for the world's largest ever simulcast of a TV drama. While not a technical simulcast of BBC One, a number of non-English translations were also transmitted at the same time as the BBC's broadcast. The British Board of Film Classification rated the episode PG for mild violence and threat. The Australian Classification Board also rated the episode PG for mild science fiction themes and violence, noting there was very mild impact with regards to sexual themes. The episode broadcast at 7:50 p.m. in the UK, and was preceded and followed by other Doctor Who-related programs and broadcasts, including broadcast of an after-party. Canadian provincial film censors rated The Day of the Doctor PG in Alberta, G in Manitoba and G in Quebec. The episode aired in over 100 countries on either 23 or 24 November 2013 in cinemas and on television. The episode originally aired on BBC One, BBC One HD, and in 3D on BBC One HD Red Button. It aired on Prime in New Zealand, BBC America in the United States, ABC One in Australia, and on Space in Canada. In English-speaking Asia and Africa, it was released by BBC Entertainment Cinemas. The episode was originally released in Cineworld, View, Odeon, and independent cinemas. It was released in Hoyts, Event, Village and limited independent cinemas in Australia. It aired in Cineplex cinemas in Canada and in Event cinemas in New Zealand. In the United States, it was released in AMC, Century, Cinemark and Regal Cinemas. In Mexico, the episode was released exclusively in 20 select Cinemark 3D theaters. The cinema version played with an introduction featuring Dan Starkey as Strax and John Hurt, David Tennant and Matt Smith as the Doctors, respectively. Critical reception. The Day of the Doctor received mostly positive reviews. Ben Lawrence of the Daily Telegraph gave the special 5 stars, calling it charming, eccentric and very, very British. Den of Geeks Simon Brew praised the special, calling it terrific, and stating that it was pulsating with comedy, ambition, and top-to-bottom entertainment. John Cooper of The Mirror gave the episode 5 stars, stating that it not only gives hardcore fans a beautiful reinvention of their favorite show but also gives casual viewers a stonking story and a reminder why we all love this show so much. SFX gave the episode 5 out of 5 stars, noting that it was not perfect but those were churlish niggles. The magazine praised the 3 Doctors and commented on how it linked the past, present, and future of the show. Jim Shelley of the Daily Mail called the episode a clever, chaotic, infuriating combination of nifty, knowing tiny detail and big, hollow, pompous bluster. Quote, he disliked the effects, accusing the BBC of pandering to the American audience, as well as disliking the Zygons, deeming them not scary enough, and naming Matt Smith and David Tennant irritating, though he praised John Hurt's performance and Tom Baker's cameo. Mashable's Chris Taylor stated that the episode is one designed to please fans and newcomers alike, and that it shows why the Doctor is finding his way into ever more homes and hearts. The Guardian's Viv Grossbach criticized various elements of the episode, though concluded that it was all worth it. Quote, social analytics website Second Sync revealed that Doctor Who generated almost 500,000 tweets on Twitter during its broadcast, with the peak number of tweets occurring at the beginning of the broadcast, at 12,939 tweets per minute. Ratings. Overnight figures revealed that the episode had a total of 10.18 million viewers for the live broadcast in the United Kingdom. When time-shifted viewers were taken into account, the figure rose to a total of 12.8 million viewers, which makes it the highest rating since The Next Doctor, 2008, which had a total of 13.1 million viewers. The box office takings for the cinema screenings totaled £1.7 meters, $2.2 meters, which placed it at number 3 in the UK film chart for the week, behind The Hunger Games, Catching Fire and Gravity. In addition, The Day of the Doctor became the most requested show within 24 hours on BBC iPlayer with 1.27 million requests, which rose to 2.9 million by the 3rd of December 2013. It was named the most watched drama of 2013 based on the final viewing figures. It received an appreciation index of 88. The live simulcast on BBC America had a total audience of 2.4 million viewers, briefly becoming the largest audience in the channel's history, until the broadcast of The Time of the Doctor, just over a month later. Worldwide, cinema screenings brought $10.2 million at the box office. The cinema screenings in the USA, on a total of 660 screens nationwide, took a total of $4.8 meters, approx £3 million, at the box office. The special had a total of 1.95 million viewers for its 2 broadcasts in Australia, with 590,000 watching the live broadcast on ABC One, and another 1.36 million watching the repeat at 7:30 p.m., while the cinema box office takings totaled $1.54 meters, putting it at number 3 in the Australian film chart. In addition, the episode received 51,000 plays on the online ABC iView in a single day. A total of 42,000 viewers watched the simultaneous screening in New Zealand, with a total of 177,510 viewers watching the 8:30 p.m. repeat, which was Prime's highest rating show for the day. The figure includes live and time-shifted viewers. This means there was a total of 219,510 viewers for all screenings. A total of 1.7 million viewers watched the 2 broadcasts on Canadian channel Space, making it the most watched entertainment program in Canada on the day, with the 1.1 meter watching the live broadcast at 2:50 p.m. being the channel's largest ever audience. Awards and nominations. The Day of the Doctor won the publicly voted Radio Times Audience Award at the BAFTA Awards in May 2014. The Day of the Doctor was also nominated for the 2014 Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation Short Form. In a poll conducted by Doctor Who magazine, The Day of the Doctor was voted as the most popular story in the 50 years of the show. Home media. The Day of the Doctor was released on DVD and 3D Blu-ray on the 2nd of December 2013 in the UK. It was released on the 4th of December 2013 in Australia, and on the 10th of December 2013 in North America. The special was re-released on DVD and Blu-ray on the 8th of September 2014 as part of a 50th anniversary collector's box set, alongside The Name of the Doctor, The Night of the Doctor, The Time of the Doctor, An Adventure in Space and Time, and The Five-ish Doctors Reboot. This re-release features new footage of the special's read-through. The special is streamed on Amazon Prime. Soundtrack. Selected pieces of score from The Day of the Doctor, as composed by Murray Gold, were released on the 24th of November 2014 by Silver Screen Records. The album includes material not used in the final episode. See also, The Five-ish Doctors Reboot, a parody tie-in to this episode. Citations. Filming locations. The Day of the Doctor, at the BBC Doctor Who homepage. The Day of the Doctor on TARDIS Data Core. An external wiki. The Day of the Doctor, at Doctor Who. A Brief History of Time Travel. The Day of the Doctor, on IMDb. The Day of the Doctor at Box Office Mojo. The Day of the Doctor at Rotten Tomatoes. Official Doctor Who 50th Anniversary website. Automatic time zone conversion of first airing from time and date. Hidden items in the 19th of October 2013 trailer.